Are you currently going through a separation and you feel like your wife is slipping away from you? Has everything you've tried so far just flat out failed? Well, brother, you're in the right place. Today I'm going to be teaching you the 6 steps you need to take to save your marriage, and I'm also going to explain why everything you've tried so far has failed. Now, if we haven't met each other before, my name's Luke Finn, and I help dads avoid divorce and reconnect with their wife. Now, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and smash the bell button to be notified each Tuesday when I release a new video. And make sure to stick around to the end of this video to get the opportunity to enroll in my free masterclass. In the free masterclass, you're going to get to discover the secret about reconciling that no one else is talking about and the 4 steps that you need to take for your wife to see your change. Now, with all that being said, let's dive right in. So to start off, let's look at why everything that you've tried so far hasn't worked and the 4 common mistakes that men make during a separation. So the first one is, guys, is when she says she's done and wants to separate, is you start begging and pleading, asking her to take you back, that you can change, and that you now realize the mistakes that you've made, and that just to get, you want her to give you another chance. And guys, this just comes across needy. This just pushes her further and further away. You should definitely not do this. The second thing is, you then become a show pony. This is basically where your wife's told you all the things she wasn't happy about in the marriage. So maybe you were emotionally disconnected from her, you weren't able to share with her, or maybe you were angry or jealous. And so what you start doing is you hear that, and then you figure out, okay, I need to start doing that now too, so that she sees that I've really changed. And you also start like maybe helping around the house, buying her gifts, just trying to be more attentive. And guys, you're doing this just so that she sees your change, rather than really because you want to change, like the deep change. These are just actions. You're being a show pony, try, hey, look at me, I've changed. This isn't real change. And a show pony is just weak and needy and trying just get her to do a U-turn so she'll check back into the marriage. You don't want to be doing this stuff. She'll see right through it, guys. You require real change if you want to go save your marriage. And the third thing is, you don't see signs of hope. So guys, I know this is probably the first time you've gone through a separation and it's very painful, and you don't have an experienced eye or a trained eye to see all the signs of hope. There are signs of hope that she's still in love with you. Now, I've done a different training on that altogether. So what I'll do is I'm going to link it up above. It's on the 7 secret signs that your wife still loves you. You should check that out for more context on for all the reasons that your wife really still does love you. And the fourth reason is, guys, Hail Marys. You don't want to do Hail Mary. A Hail Mary is where you're like, I'm going to do this one thing and it's going to save the marriage. So maybe it's like booking holidays or writing her this letter where you explain all your realizations and how she, should, come back into the marriage, like how you really love her. And you feel you're writing it from your heart. At the time, it feels like a really good thing. It feels good for you. And it is good for you to let it out. But by sending her that letter, it just comes across needy, and she's really checked out, guys. It's not going to actually help her by sending this letter. Now, recently I had a guy reach out to me. These Hail Marys can be a bit tricky, but basically, you're doing a Hail Mary when it's like, okay, I'm going to do this one thing and it's going to save my marriage. And guys, that's just bullshit. This isn't just a one-shot thing. There's no quick fix. It takes a proven process and time to go save your marriage, right? Now, I had a guy reach out to me recently who was also doing a Hail Mary, but he didn't realize. He told his wife, hey, look, if you don't check back into the marriage, the door is open for the next, 6 months. If you don't get back into the marriage or end the separation, then, I'm moving on. Now, this is something that, so if you're feeling weak and needy, this is really something that a weak and needy person does, because they don't feel like they have real true power. So they try and use this leverage. Don't threaten your wife, make these threats like that. That's a Hail Mary and it doesn't work. All right. So once your wife says she wants to separate, there is a dynamic shift in your marriage, right? There's a shift in the dynamic, and we're going to get into that right now. So you probably felt like when you're in your marriage, you've probably been together with your wife 10, 20 years, right? And you felt like you're on the same page. You could see eye to eye, and you can see there that you guys are on the same level. But when your wife says she's done, or she wants a separation, or wants a divorce, there's this big shift in the power dynamic. She now feels 100% in control. And you can feel that, right, guys? Because you've been trying everything to get her to check back into the marriage and nothing is working. And you'll see this because basically all your attempts to try and reconcile don't work, right? So you start talking about the relationship because you feel like you've changed. You want to, start making headway there. And she just blocks you. She doesn't want to talk about the relationship. Or you start being more open about your feelings because in the past you weren't able to connect to her from your heart. So you start opening up, you start crying, and you start sharing your realizations. She's not interested in that. You start trying to meet her needs. You're being more attentive to her needs, and start looking after the kids more, being around the house more, and generally just showing more affection. And none of these work. And let me know, guys, in the comments, have you been doing these things and have they been working for you? I'd like to know from your side, what have you done and what has worked and what hasn't worked, right? But from the hundreds of clients I've worked with, these are the tactics that they try and implement, and none of this works. And the reason it doesn't work, guys, is because the power shift. There's a power shift in the relationship. The dynamic has changed. And when you do all these things, it's too little too late, guys. You need real change. And the problem is, when you're doing all these things, guys, you've basically become the pursuer. And the pursuer is weak and needy. Like, she can feel you. You're literally chasing after her. You do not want to be the pursuer. And because weak and needy men just push their wife further and further away. And this is what you've been experiencing and why nothing is working for you. And your wife feels your desperation. And this just makes that power dynamic even more so accentuated. It's really acute, where she just feels like she's holding all the cards. She has all the power and you have nothing, and you're chasing after her. And we need to change that. So who's ready to change that today, guys? Let me know in the comments. Say you're ready to change, and let's go and do that. So your solution, what you need to do to attract your wife back in, is you need to get out from being this weak and needy man chasing after her and pursuing her. You need to become a strong, independent, magnetic man that's going to attract her back into the marriage. And I'm going to teach you that now during this video, how you can do that. So we're now going to cover the 6 steps to attract your wife back into the marriage. Now, like I said, I've helped hundreds of men reconcile from some of the most difficult situations, from the wife having an affair, from divorce papers being filed. I've pretty much seen it all. And what I'm going to share with you today are the exact steps I've shared with my clients to help them reconcile with their wife. So just like Love, this is Love. When he joined my program last year, his wife, it was a very difficult situation. She was filing for divorce. She was having an affair. They were separated. She didn't trust him at all. And he was basically feeling hopeless. So he wanted help. He enrolled in my program and wanted to go save his marriage. And so I'm very happy to be able to tell you guys, after applying the ARC system, she stopped having the affair because he became this strong, independent, magnetic man. She realized she couldn't get a higher value man than him. She dumped that boyfriend, kicked him to the curb. They became intimate again. She started expressing her love. She realized that she'd messed up, and he attracted her back in, and he just felt amazing because he'd done the inner work that was required to become this high value man, the strong, independent, magnetic man, to attract her back, and he feels absolutely great. All right, so these are the steps that I taught Love, and I teach my clients in the ARC system. So the first thing is, what you need to do, guys, here. Step 1 is you need to let her know you're working on yourself. So don't say, I'm going to go save the marriage. I'm fighting for this marriage. This is something that a weak and needy man does. I know it feels good to you. Like, it's fine that you want to go save your marriage and you are fighting for your marriage. I honor that. That's awesome. But you don't need to communicate that to her, because when you say you're fighting for it, she's already checked out. It just comes across weak and needy. But you do need to tell her that you're focusing on yourself. Now, you don't want to make the mistake that a lot of men make out there. They say, they do this no contact. Maybe you've seen it, this principle online. This no contact, where you cut off contact from your wife, give her FOMO, so fear of missing out, that you're no longer interested in her anymore. Guys, you married your wife. You've been with her 10, 20 years. You love her. You don't want to play these childish games that, like, you'll hear from dating coaches. You don't want to do that. You don't need to be playing these kind of mind games. So what you want to do here, though, is let her know you're focusing on yourself, that you need space, that you're assessing your future. You don't know how you see this going, but you need to focus on yourself. You need time, because this was a big shock. But if she needs anything, you're available, that she can come to you. And what we're doing here in this first phase is we're setting the boundaries, we're creating space, and we're breaking that pattern, guys, of you pursuing her. You need to break that pattern, and this is a wonderful way of doing that. Then step 2 now is you need to keep conversations safe. Stop talking about the relationship. Stop trying to bring up the relationship, and keep conversations safe. Like, speak about the logistics, picking kids up, dropping them off, the finances, whatever it is. Just talk about the logistics, safe topics where you're not bringing up the relationship anymore, because there will be a time when you can start talking about the conversation, start talking about the relationship. That'll come at a different time. If you want more context of when you can start talking about the relationship, I'm going to link up above the 4 phases of on the road to reconciliation, and that gives more context of when you can start talking about the relationship. So I'll link that up above now. The third thing is you need to keep your conversation calm and curious. So many men get defensive when their wife starts getting angry. Look, your wife she's got a lot of resentment and she's going to vent. But when she's venting and getting angry at you guys, this is actually a good sign. It's one of the signs I talk about that she's still in love with you, because you're doing all this work, you're trying really hard, and you start asking yourself, okay, you've changed, right? You've changed a certain amount, but she's getting angry at you and it doesn't make sense. This is a sure sign that she still loves you. Now it's really important that you keep your cool and stay calm and curious. When she starts sharing with you or getting angry and calling you names, blaming and shaming you, you need to sit back and learn how to navigate this effortlessly. You need to be able to relax, open her up with the right communication techniques, listen to what's going on for her, validate those feelings, and rebuild the emotional safety in the relationship. Now, I have a different training on this one on exactly how to navigate conversations effortlessly and rebuild that emotional safety. If you'd like that training, I'll link it up above now. The fourth thing then is you need to rebuild your confidence, brother. You didn't see this coming and it's a big hit, right? You love your wife dearly and you're feeling down, like you're probably feeling hopeless. There's all these different emotions going on. You can go save your marriage, but you need to rebuild your confidence. Go out with your friends, go out and have a good time as best you can, and start honoring the wonderful person that you are. I would bet, if you're watching this video, you're an amazing dad. So share with me in the comments, drop in the comments. If you feel like you're an amazing dad, drop amazing dad, raise your hand and take ownership of that. Because you are. If you're watching this, I guarantee you're an amazing dad and you're doing the best for your family. So you need to start focusing on the wonderful man you are, all the values that you have, and rebuild the confidence, because this is going to be key in attracting your wife back. Now, the fifth phase is the accelerator mindset. Guys, I cannot overstate the importance of accelerator mindset. So the right mindset. When you're going through a separation, it's so easy to focus on the wrong things and get hung up on you're not making progress or it's getting worse. You need to have the right mindset. You need to focus on all the progress you're making, how things are getting better. Now, this is something I teach my clients when they come into the program, because when they come into my program, a lot of the times they're doing the opposite, which is a handbrake mindset. Handbrake mindset is where you start catastrophizing, seeing no hope, worrying about what's going on, all the externals. You have to dial in. You have to dial in your mindset, because otherwise you basically end up self-sabotaging, right? There is plenty of signs of hope. You just need to focus on the right things, and this is going to push through this current phase that you're in, which is called conflict, where you're finding it difficult at the moment. You need to push through this phase, and you can do that by applying the accelerator mindset. Now, I cover this mindset, the right mindset that's going to save your marriage. I cover that in another training, and I'll link that up above now for you to get more context. And finally, brother, what you need to do is you need to heal, right? This has been a big shock. You didn't see it coming. And you've got all this anxiety, you've got this pain, you've got maybe some anger, frustration, because this doesn't feel fair, right? You love your wife, and it's not fair that she's not giving you a chance. Maybe she didn't even give you a chance to go to marriage counseling. She said she's done. And when you said you wanted to go to marriage counseling, she said, no, it's too late, right? And that just brings up a lot of pain and suffering. You need to process this pain so that you can start showing up as the empowered man that she needs. Because this is how you move forward. Because if you don't process this pain, what you end up doing is acting out. She's going to test you guys as you start on this road to reconciliation. She's going to test you to really see that you've changed. And the only way you're going to pass that with flying colors is by healing that pain, so you show up as a completely different man, a better version of yourself. Now, I promised you at the beginning of this training that you're going to get the opportunity to enroll in my free masterclass. In the free masterclass, guys, you're going to be able to start this healing process that I was talking about to show up as the empowered man that your wife needs. So don't hang around. Enroll in that masterclass. It's down below in the description. You can enroll in the masterclass there. You're also going to get to learn the secret to reconciling that no one else is talking about, and the 4 steps you need to take for her to see your change. So guys, to enroll in that masterclass, you can find the link in the description. Enroll there and begin your progress on the road to reconciliation, guys, and heal that pain that you have there right now. Okay? And finally, if you haven't done so before, I want to invite you to my marriage support group for dads. This is a free Facebook group with a wonderful community of dads who are committed to avoiding divorce and reconnecting with their wife. The link is down in the description. Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. If you've got any questions at all, post them down in the comments. And let me know, guys, what have you been trying to save your marriage, and what's been working for you and what hasn't been working for you. And if you found this video useful, do me a favor, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and smash the bell button to be notified each Tuesday when I release a new video. Now, with all that being said, I look forward to seeing you on the next video.